Hey, thanks for coming to 1500ESPN.com. I'm Derek Wetmore, and I'm going to share with you my 5 thoughts from Thursday's Twins-Cardinals game. Let's start with thought number 1. Wouldn't get very far in this video without talking about Twins slugger Kenny Vargas. He's obviously had his struggles at the plate this season, especially of late, but he was the hero on Thursday. Comes up in the 9th inning, 2 outs, nobody on, and hits the game-winning home run. Walk-off home run for Kenny Vargas. He says it's the first walk-off home run in his career at any level, the minor leagues, what have you. It was a big home run for the Twins to get basically a split of this 4-game home-and-home series with the Cardinals, but also I think it was a big home run for Vargas. Maybe he takes a little bit of pressure off of himself, and maybe he convinces the Twins to stick with him a little bit longer at DH. More on that in a minute. But first, thought number 2, there was another big-time home run on Thursday for the Twins. Joe Mauer, on a full-count pitch, got a 95-mile-an-hour fastball to his liking and hit it out to the opposite field. That's something like 400 feet to left field, and Joe got all of it. It's the second ball in 2 days he's hit hard to the opposite field, and while his offensive struggles on the whole have been noted, he's also hit really well with runners in scoring position, so his RBI total is now actually tied for Torrey Hunter for tops on the Twins, despite the fact that he's having an un-Joe Mauer-like season, or at least lately. He dipped into the 250 range for his batting average and then came up an 8-pitch at-bat, the 8th pitch of it, slugged it out. Big-time home run for Joe Mauer. Tip his cap to his grandparents after the home run, which he says he does after every Target Field home run. So if you saw him tip the cap and were wondering what was that about, that's exactly what it was. Just acknowledging his grandparents, who he say they rarely miss a game at Target Field. He says he estimates they've probably missed about 5 or 6, and that's saying a lot. He's played a lot of them here. Thought number 3, though, Mike Pelfrey is the one who set up the heroics. I mean, I expect that he'll get a lot of credit. He certainly deserves a lot of credit. I know he didn't hit the game-winning home run, but without his 8 great innings, there's not an opportunity for a walk-off solo home run in the 9th inning. Mike Pelfrey threw 8 innings. He gave up 1 solo home run, just 4 hits total. That was the only earned run he gave up, was a Jason Hayward 3-1 fastball. I think it was a fastball. It just left it in the middle of the plate. Not exactly where he would have wanted it, I'm sure, but Jason Hayward made him pay, put a good swing on it, hit it out to right center field. And that gave the Cardinals the lead, and it was a pitcher's duel at that point between Mike Pelfrey and Jaime Garcia on the other side. Really fun ball game, quick-moving ball game, a lot of action, a lot of tactics involved. My favorite kind of ball game, personally, a 2-1 pitcher's duel. So it was a pretty entertaining game. And the Hayward home run, with as well as Pelfrey was pitching, I thought, boy, that's a tough break for Pelfrey, considering the Twins' offense has struggled to put up runs the past 2-3 weeks, and knowing that, hey, 1 home run, even if it's a solo shot, might well be the difference. That was looking like a tough break for Pelfrey at that time. He got through the rest of the 7th inning, and then Molitor debated if he should go to the bullpen or stick with Pelfrey. With the Twins trailing 1-0, he stuck with Pelfrey, and Pelfrey went out and mowed him down in the 8th. A strong start for Mike Pelfrey, and it put the Twins in a good spot. Blaine Boyer came up and cleaned up the 9th inning after a leadoff double. Then Boyer gives up the double. The runner gets to third base on a ground out. So 1 out, guy on third. Cardinals looking to stretch the lead. That was after Mauer's home runs. So the game was 1-1 at that point. I beg your pardon. The Cardinals were looking to retake the lead, and Boyer bared down. He got 2 outs, 1 via the strikeout and 1 just a fly out, harmless to right field. So a big start for Mike Pelfrey after his clunker in Texas. 5 out of his last 6 starts have been pretty good. He's been impressive for the Twins. Not going to be too shocked if he starts to get some all-star consideration, if he continues to pitch this way. Maybe he's pitching over his head, but with that sinker and fastball combination for Pelfrey so far, that split finger action that he's been getting, he's been impressive. I don't know if there's a great explanation for it, but truthfully, Pelfrey's kind of revived his career here with this first half in Minnesota, and he'll be an interesting player to watch the rest of the way. Then Blaine Boyer, like I said, impressive 9th inning, and Twins pitchers put their recently feeble offense in a position to win that game with just 2 runs scored. Thought number 4, I had mentioned Kenny Vargas' home run probably came at a good time for him. That's because the Twins might not be opposed to considering shaking up the DH. I wrote about that in my 5 Thoughts column at 1500ESPN.com. You can check that out if you're interested. The Twins are looking for production, and while Vargas was the first baseman on Thursday, he's this team's DH, and they've really, really struggled with production out of that spot recently. Considering that they're not getting a lot of production at other spots in the lineup, that magnifies the need for offense at a position like designated hitter. And Kenny Vargas, so far on the whole of the season, hasn't really provided that. But if he gets it turned around, I think the Twins would be happy to see him take that position and run with it. Thought number 5, quickie, because it's not on the Twins. Timberwolves executive, president, and head coach Flip Saunders was at Thursday's game. He took it in with a couple other Wolves execs and former Ohio State star D'Angelo Russell. The Wolves obviously have the first pick in the NBA draft coming up here at the end of the month, and Russell's one of the guys they're probably considering. They took in the Twins game from the Legends Club. Watched what I said was a pretty entertaining ball game. Not saying that'll have any bearing on it, but just a fun little note. Additional reading at 1500ESPN.com. Go check out my column on Eddie Rosario. You've heard in these videos over the past month or so, he's done a lot of little things that have really impressed me, not necessarily with the bat, although he's hitting something like in the mid-280s. He's holding his own and about an average batting line for a left fielder. But what's more impressive to me anyways are some of the smaller plays that Eddie Rosario's made, both as an outfielder and on the bases. I wrote a column on that and Muller's thoughts on it. Some pretty interesting stuff, considering that he's a rookie. You don't necessarily expect these quote-unquote little things to go right for him all the time, but they seem to. Rosario just seems to make play after play after play that aren't going to show up in the box score, but that help teams win games and over the course of a season add value to the team, add runs, which add up to wins in the long haul. So check that column out at 1500ESPN.com and check out another Touch 'Em All podcast this weekend. Sunday night, Phil Mackey and I will record that, so subscribe on iTunes. Go to iTunes, search under podcasts, Touch 'Em All, hit subscribe, and we'll send you that episode this Sunday evening with plenty more Twins analysis and insight. That'll do it for this video, though. Thanks for coming to 1500ESPN.com. Check out the rest of our Twins coverage on the website. And until next time, I'm Derek Wetmore. I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you next time.